been kind of a rough week, not gonna lie. Here, that's the same for you.
Ah, dude, same.
Family.
Family.
Actually, non-family. Damn, homie. Because family would be like, all right, I got this guy's back. We were just mad, stewing in our own fucking pity and anger.
Dude, the opposite of what we should do.
Yep. It was just one of those weeks, guy, you know. And then I have this idiot friend just got out of prison, which just made it worse. He's a moron, and I have. So anyway, whatever. You know, it's just one of those fucking shitty weeks. And today we went out on a toy hunt, and usually that's reason enough. That's what do they call it? Cause célèbre, right?
Is that a thing?
Whatever the French fucking say, they suck.
Yeah, who cares about the
Anyway, yeah, you know, it's usually a reason to have a little fun. But I was just like, not that I didn't want to be there, but I was like, you know, when you have a hard time getting out of your mood.
Yeah.
And I'm not even a fucking angry guy. You know, I'm the type of guy that gets up in the morning and I'm fucking fine to the end of the day. You know, if anything, I'm an aggressively unangry guy to the point where it fucking sounds like I'm angry.
It pisses you off.
But yeah, this week's just been fucking arse and a half. So it was just hard to get out of that funk. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it was just like, all right, I should be able to get out of this, but I just couldn't. You know what I'm saying? For some fucked reason. But then I did, right? And I was like, all right, let's get into the flow a little bit. And as the day passed, well, not really a day, but as the hours passed, I was like, all right, you know, you get a little bit looser. Conversation starts happening. You're like, okay, this is cool. This is pretty good. And then, just when we had reached the nadir of you know, fluid conversation, we go to the shop that we've been kind of thinking about going to for a week and a half now.
More?
No more. Because it looks cool. It's like one of those loose fig shops.
Yeah.
So you can find a bunch of used stuff, you know. And you can see that a haul probably somewhere that we put up. But anyway, the point is, we went to this fucking shop, you know, and again, at this point, we're like, hell yeah, we got here.
Sucking each other's nuts.
Sucking each other's ball sacks 24/7. We're doing like reverse cartwheels into the store naked. And we walk in, and sure enough, there's a lot to be seen. And there's tables and tables of goodies to root through.
You know, sometimes you go to one of these places that you want to go to, and it disappoints. Most times, I would say.
Most times, yes.
It actually didn't disappoint, shockingly. And I was like, hell yeah.
There was stuff there. There was a lot to be enjoyed. And, you know, there was people there, which is usually not the case here.
True.
You know, but so that's pretty cool. But they have these tables that have bins of loose figures that you could root through and pick through.
Yeah.
And here's the thing about these tables. They're literally assorted into bins.
Prices.
Sorted into bins. Yes. Each bin has particular figures that are a particular price to that particular fucking bin.
Yes.
They have a $5 bin, a $10 bin, a $15 bin, etc.
A very sensical way to do it.
Yeah, it's called arranging shit.
Yes.
And it fucking works, right? And so, and if it's not in a bin, it's got a tag. You know? So we approach this table, and I don't know if you noticed. First thing I noticed was this man planet, ironically wearing an Academy Sports shirt.
Yeah.
I guess he works there. You know, which I gotta say, Academy. Come on, guy. I know people want jobs, but holy shit, this is not the guy. Yeah. It's like hiring us to be your spokespeople. Come on.
I could somehow feel him mouth breathing over me the second we walked in.
Yes. It was bad, guy. And, you know, you're literally the guy that I'm like, is this the soundtrack to the movie? Oh, no, wait. It's you breathing down my fucking neck. So, I mean, that says a lot.
Damn, homie.
Anyway.
Let's just say we walked in and all we heard was freaking trumpets. Hong, hing, hong. No, not trumpets. What is it? It's tubas.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was us playing the Child's Play 2 theme. Hong, whing, hong, hong, whing, whing, hong, hong, whing, whing. With our ass trumpets. Anyway, when we stopped playing,
was fat, is what we were trying to say.
Once the ass trumpeting was done, the first thing I noticed, guy, was this fucking dude hogging up, pun fully intended, the fucking tables.
Yeah, dude.
There was other people trying to look at these tables, and there was 2 tables, right? Well, really, there was like 4, but they were put together into 2 sections. Yeah. But this guy somehow had placed himself dead center so that nobody could comfortably peruse the tables.
Yep.
Well, we're fuck it types. Also, we ourselves are man planets. So we're like, fuck this shit. At least, again, this was my thought process.
Yeah.
And I just went for the fucking table. Everyone was avoiding them because this fucking turdlet of a man was there. So I fucking just went up there and started rooting. You followed suit immediately as well. Maybe even led the charge. I don't really recall, but
I kind of squeezed myself in.
The point is, we're rooting through these bins.
Well, this is what happened. Actually, I didn't even squeeze myself in the first time. I don't know if you did, so I wasn't looking at you because gross.
Right.
But I was looking at a bin on this side, and he freaking sidles up to me.
Well, okay, yeah, because okay. Now I can tell you from my perspective. Yeah, I had gone up to a bin. You came up to the bin right next to me, and we're looking. But I moved away from you because, as you said, disgusting. Gross. Yeah, and unfortunately, I ended up on his side, which, again, super gross.
Yeah. He looked like stink.
He did. And I went for the wrestling figures first because, one, they were cheap, and two, I was hoping there was female figures to no avail. But anyway, this fucker is looking through the bin at the table that I'm at. And he's already got his hooves full of figures, and he's trying to root still, like a greedy hog for fucking truffles. And he's just fucking... Let me demonstrate, in fact, because, I mean... There's really no other way to say it but to do it the right way,
This homie was basically full on.
He's just all in there, guy. Hold on,
You gotta put them boys on?
He's got one stanky hoof full of fucking shit. Well, really, he's got two hooves, right? Full of fucking shit. And then he fucking puts... he puts all of his shit into one of the hooves. And then he's rooting through the other through the bin, and
I can't see this.
I'm right next to him over here with the wrestling figures, but I've seen that there's nothing that I want, so I go to the bin next to him, and he fucking moves over like this, like a juice. And I'm like, what the fuck is it?
What does that
mean? And you know me, the moment you push against me, I'm gonna push back. I'm just that fucking type of guy. I'm not one to be bullied.
You almost murdered a kid after all.
I did almost murder a kid just because of that. But this motherfucker's like, and I'm like, what the fuck, man? So I'm very loudly being obnoxious at this point just to fucking irritate this fuck. And you didn't even respond, so I don't even know if you fucking were paying attention. But I was like, that is this guy, right? Yeah. Anyway, that's when you notice something in the bin that you're looking at. You said like, oh, dude, look.
Yeah.
Something, right? And the moment you said that, he turns from near me towards you. Let's say he's here, here specifically. And you're over there. And you go, dude, whatever. And he goes...
Yes.
And he's like, you might as well been in your nuts, guy.
That's what I felt. I was like, what the...
Yeah, and he was
I was like, I made a subconscious choice to, not really subconscious, just a straight up conscious choice to not move, because what is this?
Yeah.
And I was here first.
And he was a table away from you.
Yes.
So he's leaning over the table while you hold that, and he's like,
yes.
Looking at it.
What is this?
And I was like, ah.
To my credit, which is something I rarely do, I was like, what is this?
Yeah, you're like, what the hell?
Constantly, the entire time we were there, I was like, what is this guy?
Dude, no matter where we moved on this table, and by that time we were obviously projecting that this was annoying behavior.
And I hate him, yeah.
And look, here's the thing. Normal me, I'm going to fucking say something.
Yeah.
But we're in a location where, one, I think we might want to revisit. So it doesn't pay to burn bridges.
Yeah.
Just because this asshole's being annoying... I'm not going to be a fool in front of people that I might want to do business with in the future, right? Or you or whatever, right? So I don't want to burn a bridge. So I'm not going to say shit to his face.
Yeah.
But we're technically saying shit to his face. Like, what is this? Who does that? We're saying. Yes. And no matter where we go on the table,
he follows.
This dude's...
He follows, and yes, that close. Like, I'm here.
And he's
like this, and I'm like, oh.
And let's say I grab something, and I'm like, dude, check this out. And he's in between us.
Yes.
Like the thick. Hold this thing in between. I'm like, dude, check this out. And he comes out of fucking nowhere in the middle, and he's like,
I'm like, get off.
Doesn't say shit. Doesn't say like. Yeah, I would have forgiven it. He was like, oh, that's pretty cool, guy.
Yeah, or something.
But he's just.
Yes, I think that's what was the worst part is he was constantly inside me, taking my virginity.
Yeah, he might as well have, guy. And here's the worst fucking part. He's wearing a mask, right? And yet, somehow, I could see his entire mouth.
Yes, his mouth breathing.
What is that face? I hated it, man. By the end, he was doing that fucking face so much that his fucking mask was under his chin. And he was like, ah. Anyway, this guy just was irritating, dude. Anyway.
He was there when we came in.
Yes, he was there when we came in, and when we left, which was a solid hour later.
Probably a little more than an hour,
he was still there. And he wasn't even close to buying shit. So anyway, we're very annoyed by this. We go and we look around the store, and he's still in the bin area. And whenever we go back to the bin area, at this point, in my case, just to see what he does and irritate him,
Yes. Why? Was he doing that with other people? I didn't notice him doing it with other people.
He did it. There was a guy there looking for old wrestling figures, like as in Mexican wrestling figures, which like...
Come on, guy.
Who does that, guy? You could literally get those on the street. But anyway, when that guy was in that area, he wouldn't let him touch anything. You didn't see that?
No.
I
was trying not to look at him because he was visually disgusting.
That's true. But this pig of a man... which, by the way, clearly had no interest in the wrestling figure area.
Yes.
When that guy got near it, God. And the guy just was like, fuck that. That's why he went and asked.
I would have told that guy to freaking leave, man. He's costing them business.
Fuck yeah, man.
Because I would have probably gotten more shit if I could have seen the bins. I don't know what a blend is, but...
Yeah, this dude was just hogging space and hogging life. Anyway, we went around the store to the other parts, and he lingered there. And
I am proud to say that during this time when you were going around the rest of the place, I walked into the aisle he was in, ripped a mad fart, and left.
And the great part is, despite us being fat lards, clearly he was the one that was going to get blamed.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was so fucking annoying. Anyway, I was the one mainly meandering around. You went too, but you would always go back to the bin.
Yeah, because I wanted to look at the bins.
Because you wanted to look, and he was hogging space.
Yes.
But I was going around, and as I was going around, I realized a couple of things. One, the older guy that was there in the store, there was a younger guy and an older guy, and there was, I guess, an assistant guy that were running the store. Too many guys for a small store, but whatever. Bit, yeah. The guy that attended you was the assistant guy. The thinner guy that was kind of walking around, that's the guy that's his place. Oh. I've actually dealt with him before. But anyway, that guy, the guy that actually runs the place, when he was walking around, he was very clearly annoyed that this guy was there. Because he kept on hovering in that area, and he would, when you pretend to fix shit on shelves?
Yeah.
The fucking shelves were already fixed. There's nothing to fix. He would be doing that, and he would look at the guy, And I was noticing this, and he was in this Star Wars area, the shop owner, and he would just shift things around and look at the guy. And there was this one point where he shifted something 1 inch, clearly bullshitting. He looks at the guy, and then he looks like, when you look in like complete frustration up at the heavens, and he goes, and he walked into the back, and I was like, damn, homie.
I think I know why.
Well, check this out. We come to find out as you're getting ready to pay, you're looking at the stuff that they have at the counter. You're getting ready to pay, though. And at this point, you picked out a Beetlejuice figure, a Kenner Beetlejuice figure, that was there the whole fucking time.
He had already looked through these bins 100 million times, dude.
100 million times, and we'll get to what he did with the bins, which is probably what you're thinking, which I think you're right. He had already looked at the bins 1 million times, hogged up the space the whole fucking time, and he's just there. He should have seen that Beetlejuice figure, but you got it. Okay.
And of course, he was like,
the moment you got it, yes. Fucking breathing down your gullet and staring at it 1 inch away from your hand. And anyway, you get to
the point where you're like, I hope this guy's retarded.
Yeah.
What the shit?
Dude, look, I know the R word is a sensitive material for some. We don't refer to the R word as anything to do with actually mentally incapacitated people. If I call you retarded, it's because you fucking suck. You suck.
Yeah.
Period. Has nothing to do with mental inability, mental disability, I'm sorry. Nothing at all. It has to do with you are a sucky human being that lives and breathes fart. Anyway, this fucker had this whole fucking time to get that Beetlejuice figure. We came in. God knows how long he'd been there. We rooted after he rooted because he was all up in our faces, and we still got the figure. And the moment you got it, he's staring at you non-fucking stop, right? When you go up and you're looking at the assortment of figures in front, there's a Beetlejuice in the case, and you ask for it. The moment you ask for it, this asshole goes up to the store owner guy, the guy that was all frustrated, and he goes, "Oh, I saw a picture on your page because I have a Facebook page. There was a Beetlejuice in the red suit. You have it?" And the guy knows you have it.
Yeah.
I know you have it. This fucking moron knows you have it. You're up there audibly going, "Oh, let me see that other Beetlejuice right there."
Yes.
And they're like, "Yeah, let me take it out for you." And this guy goes up to the owner. "I saw it. You guys have it?" The owner, again, knowing full well that they have one, he's like, "Nah, man, we don't have any of those." And he sounded fucking livid.
They had two, by the way.
They had two.
One of them didn't have the head, but they still had it there.
Yeah. And he just sounded livid. Now, the reason that he sounded livid, I think is what you were going to say, is because this hog of a man rooting through these bins with his grubby fucking hooves the whole time, he was mixing up the bins.
Yes, so
there's bins assorted by price.
By price, and he was literally, oh, dude, he was grabbing the loose figures like this and throwing them into the other bins, and then going through this bin and throwing them back. I was like, what? Who? First of all, who does that?
Yes.
This is not your shit to do that to. Sure, these are a little worn and everything, but why would you destroy something like that?
Yes.
Second, they're freaking sorted by price, you turd. What is that? Who does that? So when I went up there, I didn't know what I was paying for because it was all mixed up already. Thankfully, they had kept good track of what was in places. But come on, man.
This dude, man. What is this guy, man?
He's disgusting.
Oh, but yeah. I didn't even let you finish the... he was so irritating that he just kept staring, guy, and it frustrated me and annoyed me, and I audibly said, "There's no way he didn't know I said this," because I said it to his face, in front of you, in front of him.
Yeah,
I said, "I hope this guy's retarded, because there's no excuse for this shit."
Yeah.
Come on, man.
There were several times when he would go and I'd be like, "What is this?"
Yes.
And he would just like kind of back off a little bit and
then
come back.
Inevitably, 1 millisecond later,
you're like, ugh.
Fucking Nosferatuing up to your soul.
It was this. He sucked my soul, guy.
This guy is worse than the guy at that other shop, which is a high-end collectible shop. Yes. No, not that guy. A high-end collectible shop that we go to. I was making a fucking deal for a statue, and it was no fucking $50, $100 statue. It was a fucking $800 statue, basically. And it, the owner of the business took me into his office. It was a deal that was clearly between two people because we were working out, financials and shit. And this guy just sidles in there and butts into the conversation like it's his. This hog, man, was worse than that guy.
Oh, yeah.
I respect that other guy more than this turd, man. Yeah, it was just terrible, man. Who does that, man?
It's disgusting.
Hated it.
I kind of wish you would have unleashed on him.
I wish so, too. But really, again, the burn bridges thing, not yet. It's a pretty cool shop. Potential, And second, I don't know, man. Sometimes I think let me put it this way.
You almost killed the kid.
No, let me put it this way. I began this video by saying it was a bad week. If I fucking let loose on this guy,
you would have been dead.
Yeah, somebody would have fucking gotten slapped. You know what I'm saying? He sucks. You know what I'm saying?
He was disgusting, dude.
He sucks, guy.
The amount of restraint you had was ludicrous.
Yeah, really, man.
Because I wanted to kill him.
He sucks, man. He sucks. Oh, so anyway, we leave the fucking shop.
He's still there.
He's still there.
Suckling on the tit of justice.
Nowhere close
Don't know
to
what
buying.
that means.
He still has his hooves full of figs that he's clawed out.
Yeah.
And he's like...
At this point, he
in the middle of the fucking...
He had put his first hooful into these pots that they're selling there, too. So he was taking up these pots. I didn't think anybody was going to buy a pot. I just wanted to throw more shade at this asshole. He was taking over a pot.
He's taking over a pot. I'm pretty sure he didn't buy the pot.
He didn't buy a pot, guy.
So he has this...
Sorry, who buys pots at a toy store?
Who does that? It's a toy store with pots?
Don't do that, guy. Don't do that.
I think they figured that out. They're like, why is there pots? Don't do that. Yeah. They do have shoes, too. I guess there's a collection market for shoes, though, but
pots?
It's a little weird still. Pots, you're out of there, guy. Unless you want pigmen to put fucking their shit that they've clawed out of your bins with. Anyway, we left and he still had his hooves full of crap. And nowhere near close to buying it. And he was in the middle of the stinking tables.
Yes.
I was like,
Shit.
Anyway, we walk out. We're heading towards the vehicle. And out of fucking nowhere, this dude comes out, makes a beeline towards me, and I'm thinking, holy shit, this guy's gonna rob me. Because we're kind of in a fucking shady part of town.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a good part of town. And it's this old Mexican guy. And if you've never seen our channels, we're Mexican. We're not saying that in a fucked up way. It's just, you know, if you're Mexican or if you're any fucking color, there's a particular type of Mexican guy. When you look at him, you're like, this guy's gang affiliated. You know, it doesn't take that much fucking rocket science. And this guy looked like old school OG, you know. And he came up to me. I was like, what the fuck's up with this guy? And he's like, hey, homie, you wanna buy some meat? And I'm like, come on, guy. Anyway, he's like, I got $200 of meat for $100, and I'm like, nah, I'm good, man. Thanks, though. He's like, all right, and he goes back to his car.
What's weird, when I got in the car, he had a little look of hope, and then he looked at me, and I was like,
oh, because I told you. Oh man. Anyway, as we're driving away, we're like, man, we should have told that guy, hit that guy with the Academy shirt up, just so he could fucking be, I don't know, a little fucking comeuppance or some shit, you know. Anyway,
I hope that guy explodes, man.
That guy explodes?
Just randomly, spontaneously combusts.
Yeah, man, that's a guy we fucking encountered, eh?
Yeah, he's gotta be the worst.
He sucks, man. I hated him. That's the type of guy that makes all fat guys look like shit.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, can you breathe your fucking mouth? I was gonna say through your nostrils, please. Close your fucking maw.
Can you not exist?
Can you not have hoofs? Please. I
know that there was some like kind of a figure in there was kind of like degrading because some of the figures were sticky. But in my mind lore, I have blamed him that everything was sticky because of his disgusting hooves.
Dude, that freaking Jean-Luc Picard was melting. Guy. Anyway, that's a guy we encountered. You know, holy shit, man.
Gruesome.
I'm not a violent guy, but I felt like slapping that fool guy.
Yeah, he would be dead.
I felt like slapping him, guy. Why? I don't know. He did not accost me in any physical way. Just his entire existence offended me. Yeah. I was like, stop.
Stop
anyway,
existing.
Let us know what you think. Have you encountered somebody like this? Because we sure have. Anyway, a route